All right, people, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the analog versus digital. What is better for you as a creator? What sounds better? Or do you even know the difference between analog and digital while you're listening to it on a DSP? Makes you scratch your head. Let's dive into it. Let's go. All right, people, so we're going to dive into, is analog or digital better? Let's check out the comments. Analog is always better. Analog sounds better to me. 100% analog is better than digital. It all depends who you ask. Analog is king. Just the vinyl is king. Vinyl is king. Vinyl is king. Digital is mids. That's what it is. Vinyl is king in the realm of warm. Digital is mids. It's two different types of sound, if you can hear it. Analog sounds better because the sound is perfect, imperfect. You can take that in both ways of the pendulum, but I just want to dive into his video discussing whether it's about analog or digital, or is it about the sound that you create. Let's check it out and see what he's talking about.
And why is there even a divide? And this is something I saw back in the late 90s when I started recording and mixing on a computer and doing most of the work in my home studio instead of working in large professional studios.
Now, I remember a time when it was like that for me, working 24-track board, ADAT, Kai 2800, MPC 60, and having samples chopped and mixing it on a analog board. And I still have those tapes. And what I'm going to be doing, hopefully in the near future, is rolling out a new channel. It's going to probably be Lost DAT tapes. And, I got plenty of DATs that I did tracks with. And I just need to get a couple of things fixed. That's the only thing about analog. You have to update parts, doing PMs, doing regular maintenance. And that's one of the things where analog suffers, because you always have to maintain your board, your synth, or whatever it is. In digital realm, you don't really have to update anything. It's all in the box. It's all saved. Where analog is it's unwrapped with heat, capacitors. Things can get out of hand when you don't take care of those things. But for the point of just starting out in analog, I think was a great learning curve if you started out in this era. Most of you out here is not in that era. Y'all starting out with a MacBook, FL Studio, and y'all going to town. Y'all making dope beats. It's dope, but you can tell the difference between that and real analog stuff. Like Fuji La, when the Fugees dropped the album, you can hear that record when it come on the radio, how thick the sound is versus today's sound. It's all subjective. Consumers is not going to know whether it's analog or digital. Mix engineers, people that produce, they want that sound. And that's just the territory of analog and digital. What you prefer, what do you hear? But the most important thing is, how does it sound?
I was told that I'm wasting my time, my studio sucks, digital sucks, and there seemed to be some sort of implication that I was somehow betraying everybody in the studio world and that I was some sort of traitor, but it might have also been because at that very time, I went from being this guy, singing songs about spirits and angels, to this guy, working on crunk music almost overnight.
Look who he was working with.
Which totally blew everybody's mind,
credits.
and I was told that I was throwing my career away. And there was also a lot of snobbery and elitism in the analog recording world back then regarding what kind of tape machine you use and what kind of mixing console you had.
The opinions on people's perceived hearing of analog and digital, what do you prefer, how you prefer to work. The bottom line is it always comes down to the sound.
To me, what is everybody getting worked up about? It's just music. It's not like I'm performing brain surgery or telling people how to perform brain surgery. But back to the main question, why are people so worked up about analog versus digital? Why do some people feel so offended that they need to make these belligerent comments about how I produce music or what my opinion is about it? I mean, who cares? Make it how you want to make it. I'm not telling you how to do it however the way that you want to. It's like this. I know a guy who makes music completely on just a laptop. He doesn't own a microphone. He doesn't own an instrument. He doesn't even have a MIDI USB keyboard. He actually plays the parts into his software instruments using the computer keyboard, and his music is absolutely incredible.
Now, on that note, it's all about the sound. Will you know he was able to do this just on a laptop and a quick little keyboard? Probably not. Nobody's going to know, especially on the DSPs. And don't get me started with this Suno Udio thing, because that's just totally trash to me, in my opinion, as a music producer, mixer. It's just totally trash about how this service is up and spearheaded and Spotify's on board with it. And, it's just purely trash to me. So we as a community, we need to keep doing what we love doing, which is whether it's analog mixing, whether it's producing in the box, but just stay away from the prompts. Don't be like a Timbaland with this new Suno AI artist that to me is just garbage. And for him to say humans has no soul, but this shit that he's pushing has a soul. We all know what it is. Shit is demonic, and that's where it's going.
On the other hand, I know guys who are completely analog, and the music they make is incredible as well. On the other hand, I know people who do all those things, or even hybrids of those things, and the music's, it's all right. But why is that? Is it talent, process?
Talent, process, ain't got nothing to do with it.
Experience? The ability to communicate an emotion, it's all a mystery, but I can tell you this, it has nothing to do with the gear.
Ah, there it is. It has nothing to do with the gear. Nothing to do with it. You can have one program and saying, wow, I need to update this program so it'll allow me to do this one small feature. That's why I will never update my Logic. It's doing everything that I want it to do. Now people are updating their PC or Mac and they're having problems. Why should you have to update every year for one minute feature? You think the pros do it? No, they don't do it. Why should they? But it's a lot of threads out there. Everybody's updating. Why are you updating? You're not going to know the difference between analog or digital. It's just going to take you longer to get there. But the music is always going to sound the same. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to twist the bend. It's all in the mind. It's a perceived thing in the mind.
It's how you use it and a lot of other things that are going on inside your head.
Ah, there it is. It's all what's going inside your head that's going to make you realize you don't need all these fancy new features. You don't need it. It might take you longer to get there, but the longer, the better enjoyment it is. We live in a fast pace. We want everything fast. News fast, feeds fast. We want everything fast. How much you retain it? I don't know. It's hard to retain so much fast news, but sometimes you got to step back and enjoy an analog setting, a digital setting, and just chillax.
But I do think there's a reason why people take sides on this, and it goes way beyond the sound. There's a certain nostalgia for analog recording. And also, for many people, especially younger people I talk to, they're not happy with the way technology is taking the world. Things are more impersonal now. We don't gather in groups to make records anymore. Everybody does it online. Everybody's separated. But in the old days, the process of making a record usually required a lot more people. So there was community, there was teamwork, there was more jobs. You don't own the music that you love and paid for anymore. You rent it and pay for it over and over again. But in the old days, you owned it forever.
Ever. Oh, look at the vinyl. Songs in the Key of Life. Like he said, you owned it forever. With the DSP, you're renting. You're not going to hear the difference on the DSP, but in a vinyl world, you're going to hear the difference. And this is going to be a comeback. The DSPs, the Spotify, it's gonna burst. Let me know what you think about this analog to digital thing, and I'll leave his channel down below. We can go into that. I think it doesn't matter whether it's analog or digital. It all boils down to what you hear inside your head, getting it done either fast or slow, enjoying it. Physical copies is the way to go. Peace.